Thank you. So welcome to the Facilities Committee meeting. We'll start with attendance. People can say that they're here, please. We'll start with this small.
Ms. Mulhern present.
Ms. Lemon present.
David Cohen present.
Zachary Evans present. Joel Fishbone present. Dan Schultz present.
Pam Henry present.
Thank you. And then we have the minutes from April 11th. If I can get a motion to approve them, please.
So moved.
Second, somebody please.
Second.
Any comments, proposed changes? All in favor then as written, please vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Let me turn it over to Mr. Holman and he'll go over the different agenda items. Thank you.
Okay. All right. So I guess let's get right into it. With the year and budget coming to a close, I want to give an update to a few projects we have addressed in the last month. And this slide, you can see the underground conduit that supplies electricity to the cooling tower at Glencoe. It is unclear what caused the damage. This damage prevented the air conditioning system from working properly in the school and created uncomfortable conditions for the students and staff who unseasonably because the conduit was underground, the area had to be carefully excavated, and an outside contractor was hired to perform the excavation and also run new wiring from the existing panel. Run new wiring from the existing panel box to the cooling tower. The original faulty conduit was replaced with new, highly durable PVC conduit. The PVC is far less likely to sustain similar damage going forward. The air conditioning at Glencoe is now operating properly and is ready for the expected warmer temperatures through the coming months. The repair was completed in one day with no disruption to the school day. So, I was waiting, that's what I was waiting for. I'm sorry it took so long to get done, but we had to wait until the, it just took time. It just took time. The flagpole has been suffering from major rusting and building throughout the entire pole. This has been an eyesore for an extended period of time. In our effort to continue to maintain and beautify our fishing properties, we directed our attention to this matter. Due to the specialized training and equipment needed to paint a structure this type, we hired a contractor, Anthem Flags, to complete the job. You can see the painter using his harness to scale his the pole. So that being said, it took a lot, right? So you can see the painter using harnesses to scale the pole. The pole was high and amazing to watch before they climbed the pole. He did it with just a bucket, not a bucket. I say a bucket, but literally a bucket. I mean, like literally. It was just amazing. We are looking forward to seeing our flag waving again as soon as the required time is elapsed. Our district has done the bottom side, but it's just one of those things. We work together, and so next slide. So This is an example of why it's important to never get the little things. This is a kickboard which is used by our soccer teams to strengthen and develop their kicking ability. While the actual functionality of the equipment was not impacted, the board was weathered and has seen better days. We hope that the maintenance and care shown to this board helps convey to our student athletes and their parents that we are always here to support them no matter how small the task or large the task may be. Though it may take long to address some major issues like fields, tracks, grandstands, it is our resolve to continue to tackle every task as expeditiously as possible. The facilities department echoes the rest of the district in its commitment to making sure each student and each program feels respected and valued. I would like to take this opportunity to publicly apologize to the girls lacrosse team for the glitch in the field lights that impacted their recent game. We are working with administration and the athletic department to ensure this does not happen again. These images show a mural that greeted all who entered the original Winco Elementary building. This art teacher created this mural of individually designed ceramic tiles. Some of the tiles were salvaged during the demolition of the building, and the former staff would like to hang the rest of the tiles and the new Winco building. Facilities will collaborate with Principal Taylor to determine the feasibility of this request. The next few slides will highlight some of our upcoming work. In support of the 2023-2026 strategic plan, the facilities department has begun working towards under strategic goal number 7, to analyze and compare options for the district infrastructure needs. Our work on athletic facilities began with engaging KCBA architects and Snyder Hoffman Associates to conduct an analysis of existing conditions and produce blueprints for renovations to the stadium area. The scope of work includes replacing existing bleachers with a new grandstand, installing synthetic turf field, and resurfacing the track. This work will be completed in phases, and we will keep you updated on the progress. As reported previously, we are migrating to a new, better integrated facilities and maintenance system with the ability to provide us with better capital planning and communication tools. Over the next few weeks, our new vendor, FMX, will begin the process of importing pertinent data from our current management system, SchoolView, into the new facilities and maintenance system. This new software will be completely online and ready to go live by the upcoming school year. We are excited about this upgrade. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions from the board? Yes, please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Hagan, for your report. In terms of the CHS stadium improvements, great to see that, that's something that we're trying to address, and hopefully, those can be quick fixes. Do we need to put that, and maybe this is also another question for you possibly, do we need to put that out to bid? Because while we'll get the assessment, the actual work.
Yes, we'll be in the planning phases. So this is the point of putting together what the scope is going to be and what the plans is going to be moving forward. And then that scope of work gets bid, and that's not for a while. Right? There's a lengthy planning and drawing phase.
Okay, and as we put that work out to bid, I just ask that we're mindful of our policy, excuse me, that really looks at contractors, diverse contractors, both women-owned, minority-owned, and community-owned contractors. As we set.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions from the board? Yes, please.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. I just wanted to say thank you for the flagpole. I always, every time I walk by there, I was just tempted to start painting it myself. No, not that was impressive. But so thank you for that, and thank you for the information about all these other projects that you're working on.
please.
Thank you, Mr. Holman. I appreciate it. And I always like your stance on the little things when we can do them because they do make a big difference. I know students and staff appreciate them. And I also spoke with one of the retired Windcode staff who was excited about the tile project. It was asking me a lot of questions. And I said, please go talk to Mr. Holman and Mr. Taylor because I don't know. But so I'm glad that that has pretty quickly gotten done. So I appreciate that. About the improvements to the athletic fields, and I mean, this is only what's pictured, and I don't know, or what's discussed here is only some of the athletic fields we have. This is just a portion. And I guess I'm just curious, I don't see it in the presentation, and this is probably for Mr. Spargo as well, but just the big picture of, you know, the feasibility study we're doing, not wanting, we don't know what that study will tell us about what we need to do with our spaces. And this is something that sounds like is moving forward before that will, that 20-year plan, if you will. You know, just wanting to make sure that, you know, how do we get all of those moving pieces to work together so that we're not, you know, throwing all of this good money here and then decide, oh, we should have built the football field here instead, for lack of.
So I was hoping to address that in
Great.
the finance
Okay.
piece. In the finance.
Okay, thank you. That's it. Thanks.
Thank you. Other questions, comments from the board? Yes.
I'm just gonna say, it sounds like I walked past that Windcote girl when I was young. Thanks for bringing that back.
Okay, so other questions, comments from the board will entertain questions from the public about agenda items. And please state your name and where you reside in the township.
Michael Brooks, Elkins Park. Keep me honest, but I recall back in November, there was mentioned that this feasibility study will get an update in January. And we're now in May, and it sounds like the feasibility study is still ongoing. So is there any updates on, you know, how far that is from being completed?
So we started the RFP process in January. We didn't, that wasn't the plan finished. That was the plan beginning. Per the RFP, the KCBA said that the anticipated finish time would be late July, early August, depending on public input and how the conversation went regarding what wanted to have, what they wanted to do moving forward. So I would expect even a little longer than that.
Other questions, comments from the public?
Hi, Tara Knox. I live in Windcote. This is regarding the football field. So I know these plans are going forward for the new stadium. I'm just curious to know what are the plans for the safety of the current field and the state that it's in?
The current field will again, not again, didn't come in on that, but we're not going to get it, meaning that we're going to ensure that it's safe.
Okay.
You know, I know I missed a meeting that you guys had the other day, and I'm okay with that. You know, with committing myself to that now. It's just, you know, there's so many different things that's going on,
Right.
and it's we can't. If I were here back then, I could answer for it, but I wasn't. So please allow me that opportunity to work with you again, because we have to get it right. You can't keep having kids with broken ankles and those kind of things. So, you know, we have to get it right.
Okay, thank you. Because I just want to piggyback off that meeting, the comment. The biggest concern from parents is safety issue. I know myself, I'm not comfortable with my son going on that field for another season if the holes are not level out. When we brought up the issue of the amount of injuries that occurred from non-contact that are on film from that football field, there was a comment from an AD that some students may have said that their injuries were caused from the field. We talked to a few parents, we talked to a few of those students. They said they never said that. And each one of those injuries are on film. And you can clearly see that they're stepping either a hole or a divot when they went down. This includes broken tibia, torn ACLs, broken ankles, 2 Division I track stars that can no longer run track because of the ACL injuries. So this is a very heightened safety concern. And I understand there's processes, I understand there's procedures, but just from a safety priority, it's a very big problem for me. And I am not comfortable having my son go on that field playing another season the way he did last year. Because coming into Cheltenham High School, I had no idea the field was like that. Had I known that, quite honestly, he wouldn't be going to Cheltenham High School because he wants to play college football. If I had known the field was next state, we would go somewhere else. So we're here, he wants to stay here. So I just want to make sure for a safety standpoint, we're doing everything we can do to keep the field and the facility safe. I mean, whether it's new and, beautified, that's another concern, but from a safety standpoint, I just want to make sure that we are very aware and we are less than 4 months out from our first home game. So I just want to make sure that it's in time for that. Thank you.
Other questions, comments from the public? Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
We'll have a second. We're gonna have to stay in this meeting.
Yes,
All in favor?
Point of order.
Yeah, actually, I did have a question.
Sorry.
Sorry, yeah. We've been talking a lot about the football stadium and the track, because obviously they're the kind of most glaring and the biggest. And those are the parents who've been coming to these meetings. But we know that the baseball field is in terrible shape, as is the soccer field. So I know that they will be hopefully part of like the larger feasibility study, but is there anything that needs to be done for them as well in the short term?
Yes, there is. And that's, being honest, we can go through this, I can give it to you point by point, how you want it. It's going to be expensive. This is what it is. You can't put makeup on the pig and call it,
Yeah,
and
no, understood.
anything else needs to be. But yeah, we can talk.
May I make one more comment?
Sure.
I'm sorry. So I was at the track meet, I just finished about an hour ago with my son. He's a thrower. So the throwing field is right next to the baseball field. And I've attended several baseball games, and there is, I don't know how far that is from the actual high school and the facilities where they use the restroom. There is no porta potty out there for them. So if those kids have to use the restroom, you see a lot of them going in the bushes because it is so far from the high school. I know the baseball parents have been asking for a porta potty to be put out during the games. They've gotten no feedback on that, but just from that standpoint, just seeing kids having to change their clothes in the bushes area, or they have to use the bathroom because it's so far from the school, they just go right there. That's just, I think a porta potty is something, a simple fix for going forward to be put out there.
Travis Haywood.
So I'm gonna go back to kind of Leah's comment, because I think we're hearing and adding additional concerns, which are real concerns. But I want us to also be mindful that we do have a feasibility study that we're working on. And we need to kind of put everything in order of priority, with clearly safety issues being a priority, obviously for the administration and board. But I just want to be careful that we don't put the cart before the horse as it relates to, or have enough information that we can really make wise choices in terms of different priorities that we have for our facilities. But again, safety obviously is very important.
Not to kind of counter that, the wonderful thing about a feasibility study is, and then being sarcastic, it takes time. So I think a lot of the things that are presented, number one, will go against making the district look bad when we have visitors. Number two, safety concerns, and number three, just basic core value needs that I don't think a feasibility is necessary needed to address. Injuries, feasibility study won't pay bills. Porta potty, that's just basic core humane goals. And just again, reputation about Cheltenham. Again, the more people you want to move to Cheltenham, the better it is. And the first thing that people with kids, what are the schools like? So when it comes to 80% of the revenue necessary for the school, that's a direct hit with, you know, how are the schools, what's the reputation, all those things. So, I mean, feasibility is wonderful. And I know we had COVID and everything like that, but quick fixes at a bare minimum. I appreciate that.
Any other comments before we entertain a new motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.